Today, we're breaking down one of the biggest questions men secretly wrestle with, but rarely talk about out loud. Is she really into me? Or is she just soaking up my attention? Those are two very different realities, and if you don't know how to tell the difference, you could waste your time, your energy, and even your confidence on a woman who was never really there for you in the first place. Welcome to the channel, fellas. This is where we cut through the noise and talk straight about women, dating, and relationships in a way that helps men build self-awareness and real confidence. I'm not here to sugarcoat things or give you the usual recycled advice. I'm here to teach you how to see patterns, understand women on a deeper level, and make better choices as a man. Here's the controversy. Not every woman who laughs at your jokes, texts you late at night, or keeps you around actually likes you. Sometimes she's just using you as a distraction, a backup plan, or worse, an ego boost. That doesn't mean she's evil, it means she's human. But if you can't tell whether you're the main course or just the free appetizer, you'll keep falling into the same trap over and over. The reality is this: women who genuinely like you will show it in ways that go beyond words, while women who just want attention will drain you and leave you questioning yourself. My job in this video is to teach you how to recognize both sides, so you can stop being confused, stop being strung along, and start acting like the confident man who knows his value. 1. The difference between interest and attention. One of the most common mistakes men make in dating is confusing genuine interest with casual attention. At first glance, they can look the same. She laughs at your jokes, she responds to your texts, she even hangs out with you sometimes. On the surface, it feels like she's into you, but if you take a closer look, you'll notice that what she gives you isn't always a reflection of attraction. It can simply be a reflection of convenience. See, when a woman is genuinely interested, it shows up in the way she prioritizes you. She doesn't just interact with you when she's bored, lonely, or in need of validation. She finds ways to be around you. She makes time, not excuses. She engages in conversations that go beyond small talk. There's a sense of consistency and effort that's impossible to fake over time. Real interest is rooted in her desire to connect, not just her desire to be entertained. Attention, on the other hand, is shallow. It's easy. It requires nothing from her except a quick text, a like on your social media, or a few minutes of playful banter when she's got nothing better to do. The danger is that many men mistake this kind of surface-level attention for a green light, when in reality it's often just her keeping you in orbit. You're not the man she sees as a potential partner. You're the man she uses to fill gaps in her day. That doesn't necessarily make her malicious. It just means you haven't learned to read the difference. This is why so many men end up frustrated. They pour energy into women who never truly wanted them, only to feel drained, confused, and questioning their own value. The truth is, a woman can give you attention without ever seeing you as anything more than a placeholder. If you can't tell the difference, you risk spending months or even years caught in a loop of false hope. The key shift is learning to observe her actions through a sharper lens. Does she invest her time and energy in building with you, or does she sprinkle just enough attention to keep you hanging around? Real interest is steady, it feels reciprocal, and it adds value to your life. Attention, by contrast, leaves you uncertain, guessing, and constantly chasing clarity. The sooner you grasp this difference, the more empowered you become as a man. Instead of wasting your focus on women who only keep you around for their own ego, you'll start demanding more for yourself. You'll hold yourself to a higher standard, and naturally, you'll attract women who actually want to be with you, not just women who want you to be another source of entertainment. 2. Her consistency tells you everything. If there's one thing that separates a woman who's genuinely into you from a woman who just wants your attention, it's consistency. Interest without consistency is just noise. Attention without effort is just a game. When a woman really likes you, her actions and her energy don't come in waves that crash and disappear. They stay steady. She doesn't show up strong one day and then vanish for 2 weeks. She doesn't give you bursts of affection only to go cold and leave you guessing. She maintains a rhythm because real attraction has a natural pull. It doesn't need to be forced. Think about it like this. If you're always the one initiating, always the one texting first, always the one making plans, then you're carrying the whole thing on your back. That's not interest, that's convenience. A woman who truly values you will meet you halfway. She won't just respond, she'll reach out. She won't just accept plans when you arrange them, she'll suggest spending time together. This doesn't mean she has to do everything, but her effort shows up in ways that leave no doubt in your mind that she wants to be there. Attention seekers thrive on inconsistency. They'll sprinkle just enough communication to keep you locked in, but they'll never give you stability. One day she's double texting you, the next day she's nowhere to be found. One week she's saying how much she enjoys your company, the next week she acts like she barely knows you. That roller coaster is intentional, whether she realizes it or not, because inconsistency creates confusion, and confusion keeps you chasing. The moment you feel unsure, you start investing even more energy trying to win her over, and that's exactly how she keeps control. But here's the reality. A woman who is genuinely into you doesn't play with your sense of security. She doesn't disappear just to make you miss her. She doesn't breadcrumb you with half-hearted texts to keep you around as an option. Her consistency is her way of saying, I'm here, and I want to be here. And when you experience that, you'll know the difference immediately. There's no second guessing, no wondering if she's losing interest. Her actions will align with her words, and you'll feel her presence even when she's not physically with you. This is where self-awareness as a man comes into play. Too many guys excuse inconsistency because they want the fantasy of interest to be true. They cling to the good days and ignore the gaps in between. But if you're building real confidence, you can't afford to overlook those gaps. A woman's consistency is the ultimate test of her feelings. If it's there, she's serious. If it's missing, she's playing a game, even if she doesn't admit it. So here's the standard. If she likes you, you won't have to wonder. Her consistency will make it obvious. If you're constantly left confused, it's not because you don't understand women, it's because she's not consistent. And if she's not consistent, she's not into you. It's that simple. 3. Investment versus entertainment. One of the clearest ways to tell whether a woman genuinely likes you or is just using you for attention is by looking at how much she invests versus how much she entertains herself with you. This distinction is huge because plenty of men confuse being a source of entertainment with being a priority. Just because she enjoys your company, laughs at your jokes, or texts you back when she's bored, doesn't mean she's truly interested. A woman who only treats you like entertainment is not thinking long-term. She's just passing the time. Investment, on the other hand, looks and feels very different. When a woman invests in you, she gives more than just moments of fun. She invests her time, her energy, and sometimes even her vulnerability. She wants to know about your goals, your mindset, and how you see the world. She puts effort into making sure the connection goes beyond surface-level fun. That investment shows she sees potential value in you as a man, not just temporary amusement. Now let's break this down further. A woman who's using you for entertainment will keep things light and playful, but it rarely goes deeper than that. She might send memes, flirt here and there, or hit you up when she's bored on a Friday night. But notice what happens when you try to steer the conversation into something meaningful. She'll dodge it, brush it off, or change the subject. Why? Because that would require her to invest emotionally, and she doesn't want to go there. You're just her distraction, not her priority. Contrast that with a woman who's genuinely into you. If she likes you, she will naturally want to know more. She'll ask questions about your day, your work, your passions. She'll remember details and bring them up later. She'll check in when she knows you have something important going on. That's her way of showing you that she cares enough to pay attention. That's investment. It's not about money or gifts, it's about emotional effort. Here's the problem. Many men get caught up in the excitement of being chosen for entertainment. They mistake temporary attention for commitment. They feel good because she laughs at their texts or spends a little time with them, and they hold on to that as proof of interest. But if you step back and ask yourself, is she investing in me or is she just passing time with me? The truth usually becomes very clear. As a man, you need to raise your standard. Stop being satisfied with women who only see you as a way to kill boredom. Your value is higher than that. You should be looking for women who show consistent investment in you, because that's the sign of real attraction and respect. Entertainment fades quickly. Investment builds something lasting. When you learn to separate the two, you'll stop wasting time on women who only keep you around for their own fun, and you'll start recognizing the ones who are actually worth yours. 4. The power of boundaries. If there's one tool every man needs to master in relationships, it's the power of boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls, they're not about shutting women out, and they're not about being controlling. Boundaries are simply the lines that protect your value, your time, and your peace of mind. And when it comes to figuring out whether a woman truly likes you or is just using you for attention, your boundaries will give you the answer faster than anything else. Here's why. A woman who is genuinely interested in you will respect your boundaries. She may test them at first, because testing is natural in human interaction. But once she sees that you stand firm, she'll adjust her behavior and respect you more for it. On the other hand, a woman who only sees you as an attention source will resist your boundaries, push against them, and even try to make you feel guilty for having them. That's because boundaries cut off her access to the easy attention she wants. Think about something simple like your availability. If you're always picking up the phone on the first ring, always rearranging your plans for her, always responding instantly to her texts, you're telling her you have no boundaries. You're signaling that her time and her needs always come before yours. A woman who's just in it for attention thrives on that. She knows she can call whenever she's bored and you'll be there. But the moment you say, "I'm busy right now, I'll call you later," or you don't drop everything to cater to her, you'll see the truth. A woman who actually values you will respect it. A woman who only wants attention will suddenly show frustration or disinterest. Boundaries also reveal whether she's serious about you emotionally. For example, let's say you set a standard about communication, you expect honesty, or you're not okay with being ignored for days. If she's genuinely into you, she'll understand and work with you because she wants the connection to grow. But if she's just there to drain your energy, she'll dismiss it, argue, or vanish altogether. And as harsh as that may feel, it's actually a blessing, because it saves you from wasting more time. Here's the deeper lesson. Boundaries don't just protect you from being used, they elevate your value. When you live by boundaries, you communicate self-respect. You're saying, "I know what I deserve, and I won't settle for less." Women who are truly attracted to strong, confident men gravitate toward that energy. Women who are only looking for attention will run from it. Either way, boundaries separate the serious from the shallow. So, if you ever find yourself questioning whether she's into you or just stringing you along, put your boundaries to the test. Pull back when you need space. Speak up when something bothers you. See how she reacts. Her response will tell you everything you need to know. Because a woman who likes you will respect your standards, but one who's using you will only resent them. And that's the clearest sign you'll ever get. 5. Testing through silence and space. Sometimes the best way to find out where you truly stand with a woman is not through what you say or do, it's through what you don't do. Silence and space are powerful tools, not games, when used with the right intention. They strip away the noise and reveal the truth. If she really likes you, your silence will make her wonder, make her miss you, and push her to take action. If she's only there for attention, your silence will expose just how shallow her interest really is. Let's make this realistic. Imagine you're texting a woman regularly. Most of the time, you're the one reaching out first. She replies, maybe even engages, but she's not initiating much. Now you decide to step back for a few days. Not out of anger, but to create space. If she's genuinely into you, she won't just let that silence hang forever. She'll reach out, she'll check in, ask where you've been, or try to restart the flow. Why? Because she values the connection. Your absence matters to her. But if she's only been entertaining herself with your attention, the silence won't move her. She won't chase because she was never invested in the first place. She'll simply drift toward the next guy who's willing to give her the attention you stopped providing. And as harsh as that sounds, it's one of the clearest, most honest tests you'll ever see. Space also tells you about the emotional foundation of your connection. A woman who likes you will feel your absence because she's attached beyond the surface. She doesn't just enjoy your presence, she cares about your presence. That's why silence often makes her step forward. On the flip side, when you give space to someone who was never really into you, the whole thing collapses because there was never any depth to begin with. The important thing is this: silence and space aren't about manipulation, they're about self-respect. They give you perspective, and they give her the chance to show her real intentions. If you're constantly in her ear, always texting, always calling, you never allow her the chance to show initiative. You don't give her the room to demonstrate her own interest. By stepping back, you create that room, and her response will tell you everything. Realistically, most men are scared of silence because they fear losing the woman altogether. But here's the truth. If silence makes her disappear, she was never yours to begin with. If silence makes her come closer, then you know her feelings carry weight. Either way, you win. You either cut off wasted time, or you confirm genuine interest. So don't be afraid to pull back, take space, and watch what happens. A woman who likes you will close the gap. A woman who only wants your attention will leave it wide open. And that's the most honest answer you'll ever get. 6. The emotional connection factor. When it comes to figuring out whether a woman truly likes you or is simply keeping you around for attention, the emotional connection is the ultimate difference maker. Attention is cheap, easy, and shallow. Almost anyone can give it without thinking twice. But an emotional connection, that takes effort, vulnerability, and a level of investment that can't be faked for long. If she's building a bond with you that goes deeper than casual laughs and late-night texts, that's when you know her interest is real. Think about it. Any woman can text you when she's bored or throw a few flirty emojis your way. That doesn't cost her anything. But when she starts opening up about her struggles, her dreams, her fears, and the things that actually matter in her life, she's letting you into a part of herself that not everyone gets to see. That's emotional investment. It's her way of saying, I trust you with more than just the surface version of me. Now compare that with a woman who only wants your attention. She'll keep everything light, playful, and superficial. Conversations stay at the level of jokes, gossip, and casual back and forth. She enjoys your presence, but she never gives you a window into who she really is. Why? Because she's not looking for depth, she's looking for stimulation. You're like her personal entertainer. Good for killing time, but not someone she's thinking of building something meaningful with. Here's where many men get trapped. They confuse the fun and playful energy of surface-level attention with genuine connection. They think that if she's laughing and smiling, it must mean she's into them. But real attraction is more than laughs. It's about whether she cares enough to let you see her unfiltered, whether she values your perspective on her life, and whether she makes the effort to understand yours. The emotional connection factor is also revealed in how she remembers details. A woman who likes you will notice the little things. She'll bring up something you said weeks ago, check in on situations you've shared, or encourage you in your goals. That's not just attention, that's care. On the flip side, if she can't remember important things about you, or if the conversations always circle back to her, you already have your answer. She's not emotionally invested, she's just feeding off your energy. The bottom line is this: attention is replaceable, but emotional connection is rare. Any woman can give you the first, but only a woman who truly values you will give you the second. If you want clarity, stop asking how often she talks to you and start asking how deeply she connects with you. That shift alone will save you from confusion and help you see who's really there for you. So pay attention to the depth, not just the frequency. A woman who is into you won't just want your attention, she'll want your heart, your mind, and your presence on a deeper level. 7. Owning your value as a man. At the end of the day, the question of whether a woman genuinely likes you or is only using you for attention comes down to one thing: your ability to own your value as a man. Too many men lose themselves in the pursuit of validation from women. They think their worth is determined by how much a woman texts them back, how often she compliments them, or how willing she is to give affection. But the truth is, your value doesn't come from her, it comes from you. And the moment you start living by that, everything changes. When a man doesn't own his value, He becomes desperate for signals. He overanalyzes every message, every emoji, every delayed response, looking for proof that she's into him. That insecurity makes him blind to red flags and more willing to accept breadcrumbs. He lowers his standards just to keep her around. And in doing so, he tells her, without ever saying a word, that his self-worth depends on her approval. That's exactly how men end up stuck in situations where they're giving more than they're getting, all for the sake of not being alone. Now let's flip it. A man who knows his value doesn't need constant reassurance. He doesn't need a woman to text him 24/7 to feel confident. He already has purpose, goals, and direction in his life. He sees attention for what it is, temporary, and he doesn't confuse it with genuine interest. When he encounters a woman who plays games, he doesn't chase, he doesn't beg, and he doesn't try to prove himself. He simply pulls back, because he knows he has better things to give his energy to. That's what owning your value looks like in practice. And here's the most realistic part. Women can feel this energy. They know when a man values himself, because it shows in the way he carries himself. A man who respects his time doesn't wait around for someone who can't decide if they want him. A man who respects his standards doesn't tolerate half-hearted effort. A man who respects his worth doesn't settle for being someone's backup plan, and women respond differently to him. The ones who are serious step up, while the ones who only want attention fade away. Owning your value doesn't mean arrogance. It doesn't mean you dismiss every woman who makes a mistake or expect perfection. It means you stop negotiating your worth. You recognize that your time, your focus, and your energy are limited, and they should only be shared with women who bring equal value to the table. When you truly believe this, you stop asking, does she like me, or is she using me for attention? Because her behavior will make the answer clear, and your self-respect will determine whether you stick around or walk away. The reality is simple. When you own your value, you never get played. Either she steps up to match your standards, or she eliminates herself, and either outcome keeps you in control of your life. At the end of it all, the question of does she like me, or is she just using me for attention, comes down to awareness and standards. The signs are always there. Her consistency, her investment, how she reacts to your boundaries, how she responds when you pull back, and whether she builds an emotional connection with you. But none of it matters if you don't first recognize your own value as a man. When you carry yourself with confidence and self-respect, you stop chasing validation and start demanding clarity. Women who are genuinely interested will rise to that level. Women who only want attention will fade out. And that's the beauty of it. You don't have to beg for answers. Her actions will tell you everything, and your standards will decide what you tolerate. So own your value, trust what you see, and never settle for being someone's entertainment. The right woman won't just want your attention, she'll want you.